Welcome back to the podcast where I'm Duran,
And I'm Mike.
and this is Before We Forget. So, Mike, you got a question for me, my boy?
I do. So we had some advice that said that as married couples, we shouldn't talk to single couples about our marriage, right?
Nah.
But it had me thinking a little bit more as a man or as a woman. Do you feel like it's okay to talk to your friends about what's happening in your relationship?
Well, honestly, it just depends on you and how comfortable you are with that. I mean, everybody got friends or got somebody they say something to. Um, on a degree to that extent, would I say tell that person everything? No. But are you gonna tell them a majority of the stuff? Yes. And the reason behind that is because if these are your friends or people that's close to you, then what comes with friendship is a bond. So my bond is if I said something to you, regardless of what it is, you shouldn't be going back telling my business.
Right?
You shouldn't be telling nobody that you know that. So if I told you something and you went and told somebody else, you might as well just stop talking to me because we're not as close as friends as you say we are.
Hmm.
To me, if we are friends, then it's like Pops was saying, you a friend is somebody that you can depend on in dire times. So if I'm coming to you telling you something, it means I was pressed about it. And whether you gave me advice or you just listen, it's not up to you to take it into your hands and take that information and go back to the third party. Because now you become part of the situation.
Well, it's I guess it's not necessarily going back to the third party, but I asked this more so because in a lot of situations, like what you say could later be weaponized.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you all the time. Uh, you shouldn't tell somebody else something because if you and your partner heal from their relationship or heal from whatever that was, and then that person bring it up because they haven't forgiven them because it's an offense to their friend and they feel like they doing you a justice, but really it's an injustice because you're speaking up. Now you put a strain on a relationship that I was just complaining to you about because now they're like, oh, why you talking to your friends about me? What did you say? And then it's like, well, I thought we was over this. Clearly we not. And y'all could totally be over it, but because your friend said something, now it seems like you wasn't over that situation.
Mm.
So that's the thing that I want to avoid. But again, the fine line or the silver lining in that, as people would say, is if I've said something to you, it's literally like some life or death type stuff. I'm not just gonna tell anybody anything with the expectation of them going to say something, or even if they didn't say something, just feeling some type of way. Like coming around and being weird.
Yeah.
It's like when girls go over your house and then they leave context clues. Like, I'm gonna just put my toothbrush up here. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. But I can see how that can get confusing because you people be like, well, you said don't tell somebody something if they not married, but tell your friend, but don't tell your friends because you don't want them to put you in that predicament. So the audience will be like, well, just don't tell nobody. I wouldn't encourage that, but what do you
Mm.
think?
I'm of the belief that you don't tell people what's going on. Um and and I say that with the caveat that um I do talk to you about some stuff,
I don't know what you're
right?
talking about.
I talk to you about some stuff, you talk to me about some stuff, just full transparency. But we don't dive into, like, if I'm mad at my wife and it's surface level, I might be like, man, bro, damn. Right. But if it's like an actual argument, usually I'm like, oh man, I'm good. We just going through some stuff right now. And that's usually it. And it's not that I think you're gonna weaponize it, but like you said, some people, when you tell them what's going on of your argument, you may just be venting. You may need an ear to talk to or listen to you. But they hold on to those feelings. What? She said what? She did what? He said what? He did what? And then they have a feeling about him or about that person that once y'all make up and y'all get over it and y'all get past it, they still holding on to. And so I feel like the dangers of going into telling other people, especially family, siblings, mom, dad, of those arguments or those situations that y'all have is that they're so protective of you that it's harder for them to forgive this person.
Exactly.
And I will say the beauty of our relationship is a lot of times when we say something like to each other, we don't hold that against our spouses. Like I'm not like mad at your spouse because y'all got an argument because you're my day one. I'm mad at her. Like, no, y'all got an argument, y'all a married couple, y'all gonna argue, y'all gonna be fine tomorrow. And vice versa. You not sitting here mad at my wife like, man, you pissing my boy off. He at the gym running 3 miles today. I know you done pissed him off. I don't know what you did, but you don't like you ain't holding her to that because of that. So like it's just different with us. And I'm sure there's people who have that person where it's different with, but I also feel like it's different based on genders as well. I know we bring that up a lot, like men and women and this or that, but I mean, in all reality, I feel like most men they don't care that you arguing or like unless the girl's cheating on you or doing you dirty, like then they're like, man, my boy, you need to get out of that. I don't like her. But most men, if y'all arguing and you pissed off, all right, come on, dude, let's play the game, let's fight, get some stuff out, let's go to the gym, let's do something. Like their job is like, let me pull you out of this space rather than give you solutions or try to try to take your side in the argument because you already know like my boy's on my side. But I feel like women they get upset with other women like how dare he? No, girl, you need to do this. You need to do that. That ain't right. And then when she forgive you, they friends still mad at you. It's almost like, damn, man, I thought we was over this, but your friend mad because you don't want to open your mouth.
Hey, and different strokes for different folks. That's all. That's how that cookie crumble. I mean, like I said, you just got to be careful with that information because it's something that is like, if I'm going talking to you about it, then I don't want other people being involved in it. So a lot of the times, I don't go to several people with the same story. Some people just don't care. So that's another reason you end up with that situation.
That is another one, knowing your friends. Like if you got a friend who ain't gonna be judgmental towards your wife, maybe you can talk to them. But if you got that friend who's emotional and their emotional intelligence ain't where it need to be, so as soon as you tell them something, they are upset or it triggers them or it brings back flashbacks of what happened with them. Maybe, hey, don't tell them nothing about no arguments or what's going on. Give them the highlights from Facebook.
No,
Here's me, here's my wife, here's our kids. We good.
not the highlights. That's not an NBA game. But yeah, man. I mean, personally, I just don't put my family in that type of jeopardy anyway because I just don't feel like that's the thing. I don't really go around broadcasting too much in the first place, so I'm definitely not gonna broadcast that.
Right.
Because then if you say something, I'm gonna crash out with you.
I mean, ultimately, just get a therapist because you can talk to your therapist and guess what? They can't say nothing.
I mean, that's 100% true. But you know how people are with therapy. They say they'll do it, but let's be real.
I mean, there's that stigma behind it, but ultimately, I mean, I feel like that's a friend that you pay, which sounds bad, but like because you don't really know them and they don't really know you. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to say how you feel and what's going on, but also to accept that criticism because there's going to be some criticism. If it's a true friend and you into it with your spouse, there should be some criticism at some point, constructively, right? You can come vent to me and we gonna vent and you get it all out, right? And then maybe a day or two go by and I'm like, hey bro, how everything going? And if y'all still in that heated argument, then okay, then that's where this criticism's gonna come. Hey bro, you maybe you looking at this wrong. Like let's figure something out where, and then you start self-reflecting. Like I mean, you've called me out on my BS a few times. I'll be pissed. It'd be 2 days in. You be like, bro, y'all still arguing over the same thing? You don't even know what it is, but y'all still arguing over the same thing. Yep. Is it really her? Is it you? Like, what's going on? So, like, sometimes you just gotta have those. You gotta be selective about those friends who you do tell it to, and even then, like, the scary part is friendships in over the smallest things nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could have a 7-year friendship and it end because you didn't want to go to a concert and they wanted you to go with them, and you just like, I can't go. I'm tired. I don't want to go. That's not my crowd, and they stop talking to you and end it.
Which is crazy that you got to do stuff like that. I mean, we all know too much. We all know the person we know too much of their information, and it's like, man, you gotta go. We gotta go. You know too much. You seen too much. That's what they say in the movies. You seen too much. You gotta go. You got to go.
Well, ultimately, you sticking with, yes, you should have somebody to talk to, or you should speak to your friends.
You should have somebody to talk to, but like I said, I gave out some caveats, and it'll be interesting to see what the people say. Because I mean, saying it out loud, it sounds like I'm being a hypocrite, but that dynamic works because I don't have people trying to come in my household and tell me what to do. Because you don't run my household, you're not in, and you don't my marriage or whatever is going on, and anything that happens, I take accountability for those actions and those things, stuff that I said, stuff that I did. And at the end of the day, I don't need you contributing to that dynamic because I gotta fade you up. It's always violence.
I think the other part of this is just communication, right? If you don't necessarily need to go talk to a friend, if you can clearly communicate with your spouse. But that's another topic that a lot of people ain't ready for. So we'll lead us to y'all. What do y'all think? Should couples talk to friends about their relationships? Good, bad, arguments, anything like that? Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on our social media. And like I said, big words, comment. Please let us know what y'all think. And we're going to follow up with y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.